Welcome to the Bodhi Academy. I am Mahanta and today we will continue the class 7 science chapter wastewater story. So in the first part of the video we have seen what is wastewater, how we use water and what is sewage, the composition of sewage, then what are sewers and sewerage. We have also seen how water gets polluted and what are the pollutants which contaminate the water. Now in today's video we will see we will learn about the wastewater treatment plant. Now these wastewater treatment plants are the places where the water is treated or clarified so that it can be reused and it can be discharged into the water bodies such as seas or lakes. Now the water which leaves our houses or hospitals or other offices, this water then goes through the sewers to the wastewater treatment plants. Now the wastewater contains various contaminants. Now these contaminants are physical, chemical and biological. So the wastewater treatment also involves physical, chemical and biological processes. So the treatment of water involves physical, chemical and biological processes. So the first step in the wastewater treatment is the water is passed through bar screen. Now the contaminated water will contain various large objects such as plastic bags, then napkins, sticks, rags, cans, etc. Now all these large objects are removed when the water is passed through this bar screen. As you can see here in this image, there are various bars here present here which will stop or block the large objects and only water will pass through the screen. Then the second step is water then goes to a grit and sand removal tank. Now here in the second step the speed of water is decreased and the water is slowly let into the grit and sand removal tank. Here the water is allowed to stand for a period of time so that the sand, grit and pebbles will settle down, and then the water from top is again moved to the next step. Here you can see the grit and sand removal tank. So the water will be allowed to stand here so that the grit and sand everything will settle at the bottom, and the water at the top will be then again taken to the next chamber. The water is then allowed to settle in a large tank which is sloped towards the middle. Now then the water will be taken to another tank which will be sloped towards the middle. In the middle part there will be a slope so that all the solids like feces settle at the bottom. Now this tank will be filled with the water and all the sludge or the solid feces and all will settle here at the bottom middle of the tank. The solids like feces settle at the bottom and are removed with a scraper. So these solids will be scraped away. Now this is the sludge. Okay, the solid feces and all which are there is called a sludge. Then a skimmer removes the floatable solids like oil and grease which is present. Now oil and grease, if it is present in the contaminated water, it will float on top of the water as oil always floats on water. Now all these oils and grease will be removed with a skimmer and the water so obtained at this stage is called as clarified water. After the removal of sludge and oil and grease, the water which is obtained is called as clarified water. Now after the removal of sludge, the sludge is transferred to a separate tank where the anaerobic bacteria, that is the bacteria which do not require oxygen for its growth and survival, will act on this sludge and decompose it. Now the biogas which is obtained by the decomposition of this sludge can be used as a fuel or in producing electricity. Then this clarified water which is obtained after the removal of sludge and oil is transferred to another chamber where air is pumped into the clarified water. In the fourth step, air is pumped into the clarified water so that it will help the aerobic bacteria to grow. Now in this tank, as you can see, the aerator is the tank where air is pumped into the water so that aerobic bacteria can grow. Now aerobic bacteria are those bacteria which require or which need oxygen for their survival and growth. Now these bacteria which will grow in the water will further consume the human waste or food waste or soaps which is present dissolved in the water. It will consume that, and soaps and other unwanted matter which is still remaining in the clarified water will be consumed by these aerobic bacteria. Then after several hours in this aerator, the suspended microbes will settle at the bottom. Similarly, how the sludge settle at the bottom, these microbes or the aerobic bacteria will also settle at the bottom of the tank as activated sludge. Now these microbes will be called as activated sludge, and the water after the microbes have settled, the water will be removed from the from the top. So the water will be pumped out slowly from the top. Then the activated sludge is about 90% of water. So then this sludge needs to be dried. Then the sludge is dried using or the water is removed using sand drying beds or machine. Now this dried sludge can be further used as manure. It can be used as manure for the plants, since hence the organic matter or the nutrients are transferred back to the soil. Now after all these 4 steps, the treated water has a very low level of organic matter or waste which was initially present. So now this water can be discharged into the sea or a river. Then nature further cleans this water up. Sometimes this water may be needed to disinfect, so it may be necessary to disinfect the water, and for disinfecting this water, chlorine and ozone are used. So chlorine and ozone are used to further disinfect the clarified water before releasing into the sea or river or in the distributing system. So this is how a wastewater treatment plant will work. It will have 4 stages. In the first step, the large objects will be removed. In the second step, the grit and sand, pebbles, all that will be settled and separated from the water. In the third part, the sludge, the feces and solid waste which is there, that will be removed. And in the fourth step, air will be pumped into the water so that aerobic bacteria can grow and consume the rest of human waste or food which is left in the water. After this, the water can be treated chemically, that is by using chemicals like chlorine and ozone. So in this part, this is what we will see. In the next part, we will see the sanitation. What is sanitation? What are the sanitation practices which we can carry out in our homes and in public spaces as well. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe to the Bodhi Academy.